Hi there, and welcome along to this Lunch and Learn session. My name is Summer Sandusky, and today I'm going to show you some features of Zetadocs Expenses that you may not be aware of or might not be using. This session is designed to help you get more out of your investment in Zetadocs Expenses and hopefully provide you with some tips and tricks that will help ensure that Zetadocs Expenses is as useful as possible to you and your colleagues. Let's get straight into it. The first feature I'm going to show you is the payment card report flow.
Okay, so with Zetadocs Expenses, your cardholders can capture their credit card expenses one of two ways. We can start with the receipt or we can start with the payment. I'll show you how we start with the receipt first. I can quickly upload a photo of a receipt after incurring an expense. If I were on my phone, I would just snap a quick picture, but since I'm on my desktop, we'll upload the file. So I'm just going to click New Receipt, and it's going to pop open my network folder where I can now upload my receipt for my dinner. You can also email receipts to be added automatically as draft expenses by sending them to receipts@zetadocs.com from your work email. Once uploaded, the system OCRs the receipt and extracts much of this data for us, as you can see over here on the left. And once the payment is imported via the nightly bank feed or the upload of the monthly statement as a CSV file, then Zetadocs will automatically match the draft expense with a transaction of a matching amount so that it's ready to submit. So I'm just going to quickly put a description here. Everything else is already filled out for me. I am going to change my payment method to David credit card. And now I'm just going to save this. Now, when I come back and take a look at this draft expense, I had a payment card transaction of a matching amount already in my system, and it auto-matched them for me. So as you can see, I didn't do anything but select David credit card. And with this link right here that says remove payment link, you can see that the payment has been auto-matched. And if I wanted to remove that payment and unmatch it, I would just need to click right here and do that. Now, if we want to start with the payment once that's been imported, we simply go to the new card payments screen from the home page, and we can create a draft expense from the payment and upload the receipt right from here. So here you can see I have my new card payment and I've got my vendor right here from the restaurant that I attended. I've got my amount over here for $117.88. So I'm just going to click right into this, and it's giving me an error because we need to edit the payment to create a new expense or match it to an existing expense before we can submit it for approval. So I'm just going to click edit. Again, as you can see, it's already filled out our vendor for us based on the information that came over from the payment card report. And now I'm going to scroll down here and add my receipt. Again, if we were on the mobile app, then we could just upload from our photo gallery, or we could snap a picture of a receipt we have right in front of us. But since I'm on my computer, I'm uploading from my network folder. And now that the receipt has been OCR'd, I can enter my description and just put dinner. For type, we're going to put food and drink, business travel. And now we're ready to go. I'm going to save this. And again, I'm going to come back out to my drafts and just show you that that payment has been linked. So let's take a look here. And again, as you can see, we do have this remove payment link button right here, which means we have successfully matched this payment to this expense. No matter which route you take, there's almost no manual entry of data since it's either being extracted from the receipt that was photographed or from the payment transaction that was imported. With the auto matching of payments to receipts, the reconciliation process is largely being done for the finance team, so they can just focus on the unmatched exceptions rather than do time-consuming line-by-line reconciliation.
The next feature I'll show is how to delegate roles and tasks.
With delegate roles, you have the ability to give another user delegate access on your account so that they can submit and or approve reports on your behalf without you having to share your login details with them. This can be useful in a lot of scenarios, but the areas we've seen it most helpful have been with managers and their personal assistants, or a single shared account for finance teams, for example, with team members made delegates. This gives the team visibility of all expense reports without any sharing of login credentials and full traceability of actions in the report history. In my demo environment, David is a delegate for April. So we are about to log in for David, and let's just say David is April's personal assistant. So when David goes to log into his account, we'll click sign in, and you'll see that he's immediately prompted to select who he is logging in as. So we're going to go ahead and log in as April for right now. Okay, April has asked David to submit her expense report for her latest work trip. She already has all of her receipts uploaded and drafts created. We just need to create and submit the report. So let's come down here and click New Report. And I'm going to click this plus sign, which is then going to bring up all of my draft expenses. And these are all the expenses that April wants David to include in this report. So we're going to go ahead and add all of them. Now I'm ready to submit. We'll go ahead and send this off to Kevin. As you can see, Kevin is April's default approver and Phyllis is April's default processor. So I'm going to go ahead and submit. And once we do that, Kevin gets an email notifying him that he has a new report to take a look at. And I just quickly want to show you what that looks like from Kevin's perspective. So I'm going to pop over here to Kevin's profile. As you can see up here in the top right corner, we're now looking at the expenses site from Kevin's perspective. David has submitted April's report to Kevin, and now Kevin has a task. So let's go look at his task and check out this report. It's April's report. And I just want to point out how down here in the history in the comments, you can see that this was started by David Doe on behalf of April Doe. So this is April's report being sent to Kevin for approval, but we do have it notated down here that it was submitted by a delegate. So you're always going to have that traceability there to reference. If you aren't already utilizing user groups, I strongly suggest doing so. It makes things much easier to manage. So Zetadocs Expenses users can be added to groups. So for example, all finance team members or all sales team members could be added to a group. And this group can be made a delegate on the single shared user account. This way, as soon as new members are enabled or disabled, their delegate access setup will change accordingly. So over here, I'm going to come out to Phyllis's profile real quick. Phyllis is our processor and an admin. So she has access to all of the system settings. And if I go here over to groups, just a couple examples in my demo environment. We've got our sales department here. We've got 5 users in the sales department, finance team right below, 3 users in there. If we need to manage access, who's got access to the finance team, edit the user list, I can do that really quickly and easily right there. And like I said, this makes it easy. So if you have a group that is made a delegate on a single shared user account, then any of those new members that are enabled or disabled, that delegate access setup will change accordingly automatically. Makes it much easier long term.
The next feature I'll show is the Zetadocs Expenses reporting functionality.
So next I want to talk about reporting. There are a couple different ways that you can utilize the data that is stored inside the Zetadocs Expenses site and how you can export that to create reports and forecast your expenses for your company throughout the year, look at areas where you may be spending more, areas that may need some improvement, etc. If you have a Power BI license, then we can start you out with a few templates. This is some examples of, the reports from my demo environment. So I can come in here and I can look at my monthly spend, or I can look at my spend by expense type. So it looks like most of our spending is coming from airfare or hotel stays. I can look by submitter and see who my big spenders are. Looks like Kevin is the main culprit there. And again, these are just examples of some reports that we can start you out with, but you can also create your own reports inside of Power BI. So the other option is we give you the raw O data to work with, and you can export this to Excel and create your own reports if you'd like. So I'm going to come up to data and get data from OData feed, and I'm just going to paste in a link that's actually available to you on the Equisys website. And this uses basic authentication, so I just need to make sure I'm logged in as a processor to be able to do this. It'll pop up this additional screen, so I select my expenses, and now I'm going to load this, and it may take a moment to load everything, but then we'll have all of our data right here in just a moment. All right, so here is what it looks like once all of that data has been imported to Excel. You can filter however you like, filter any of these columns, create your own reports with this data. I'll scroll over a little bit and just kind of see what else it has captured. But there's lots that you can do with this. So it's totally up to you what you all do with your data and how you choose to utilize this. There are a few different features available. So if you have any questions, if you need any help with any of this, just let us know, and the team at Equisys will be happy to help.
So I hope you enjoyed that and found it helpful. I just wanted to quickly emphasize the high-level value of Zetadocs Expenses before we move on to some next steps you may wish to take. Zetadocs Expenses makes expense management a breeze by releasing you from inefficient expense management processes. The Zetadocs Expenses app creates expenses for you automatically by extracting data from receipts or transactions, making it quick and easy to submit expenses accurately. Your finance team can tighten control over spend thanks to built-in compliance and accelerate the processing of employee expenses without the need to rekey data into your finance system. Your IT team is happy because Zetadocs Expenses seamlessly integrates with existing systems, so there's no need to worry about your company's expense management solution. In terms of next steps, if there's anything we showed you that you're not already using, or if you have any questions at all about your use of Zetadocs Expenses, please speak to us. Our team will be delighted to assist you in getting the most out of your Zetadocs Expenses system. Our contact details are on screen now. If you are currently running an on-premise version of Business Central or Nav and are planning to upgrade to Business Central Online in the future, you can take Zetadocs with you. Zetadocs Expenses, as well as our other products, Capture and Delivery, are available in the cloud, and we can help to make your transition to the cloud as smooth as possible. Today marks the end of this Lunch and Learn series. If you missed the previous sessions on Zetadocs Capture, which covered both our AP automation and document management solution, and Zetadocs Delivery, you can find these on our website. Just hover over the products section of the menu, then select online events. For now, I'd like to thank you for your time and enjoy the rest of your day.